Let's do man cut. So what is cut? Cut out selected portions of each line of a file. So the cut utility cuts out selected portions of each line as specified by list from each file and writes them to the standard output. If no file arguments are specified, or a file argument is a single, or if a file argument is a single dash, cut will read from the standard input. Then we have a bunch of flags as per usual, and then some examples. Let's go ahead and get into it. So right now we're going to do counts by subject, okay? So we're going to use our command line utility cut. We're going to use the D flag, which is our delimiter flag in cut. Then we're going to say F2, which is column 2. Again, we're looking at the subject. And then we're going to choose our grades.csv file. So we have just, all we've done at this point is use cut to find everything in column 2 from grades. And what we want to do is count by subject. So we have all of our subjects here. We've used cut to get all of our subjects. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use some piping, and we're going to use a couple of other tools in order to accomplish that task, okay? So we used cut. Let's go ahead and cat our grades file really quick. Whoops, so we can have that in front of us. So we used cut to find all of those subjects. And again, you saw you can use other tools to do this as well, but cut is a good one. And now we're going to use this pipe to pipe that into another tool, to pipe that output into another tool. So the tool that we're going to use is tail. Then we're going to use the N flag and +2. So what we're saying is we want to start displaying the file from line 2 until the end, okay? The plus sign tells tail to start at that line number instead of printing the last N lines. So let's take a look at what this does. Sorry, there should be a space right there. And you'll see here that what this command has done is removed that first line. So what is tail? The main use for tail, or what it was designed to do, was to show the last 10 items of a file. So when I say, you know, n-+2, what I'm saying is anything after this, anything after that first line starting at 2. So that's what we did with tail. So that's why we don't have our header. Next part of our command here is sort. So now we just want to sort the values alphabetically. We're going to say sort. So now they're sorted. All right, and remember our task. It feels like a long ago that we tried to figure out what it was, right? We're counting by subject. So we're having to do a couple of things to our text in order to actually accomplish that count. So now that we've gotten our column, we've organized our data, and we've gotten rid of our header, we are now going to pipe that into a command called unique and then count. So notice here we have the counts. So what if I just said unique? What would that show? That would just show that, but we want to show, or it would just show the unique values, but we also want to show the count of those values. All right, and then finally we are going to sort those. And that NR is going to count numerically largest first. Whoops, and it's getting hard to see, huh? Let's pull that up. All right, so now we have math first and history. Whew, that's a lot of work just to get a count. Now, it doesn't feel very cool in a tiny little example file, but if you're looking through an extremely large data file and, you know, and you're looking for really important information, this type of a search is really powerful. All right, the comparison program that I wanted to show you, actually, let's do one more command and cut. So the next one, let's look for the top 5 grades. So we saw tail, we saw sort, we saw unique, and we saw how to use cut. Let's go ahead and use cut to find something else. So we're gonna look for the top 3 grades. So we're gonna say, or top 3 scores is what I should say. So we have F3, so that's our column, right? So if you look over at our grade, it is called grade here. Top 3 of these, this column here. So column 3, we're going to pass in our grades.csv, and it's recommended that as you build these out, that you figure out one part of the program before you pipe it into the next. So you make sure you're looking at the right stuff. So we have our grade. We want to remove that header again. Make sure it's right. There we go. No header. Now we want to sort. Starting with largest first, right? So we want to start with the largest first. Why? Because we want to find the top 5. So now it's organized for us, and we're going to say that I want head. So just as tail is meant to show you the last 10, head is supposed to show you the first 10. And if you have ever used pandas, you would be familiar with this in Python. So anyway, so head, and then instead of, let me show you what it will do if I just use that command. So since our data is small, it's going to show us everything that's there. But if I specify a number, say I want to look at the top 3 here, that's when it will, only show me that 3. Okay, so that's another example using cut.